So by now you understand why conflict resolution skills are so crucial in resolving workplace issues. You've also learned about some of the psychological benefits of conflict resolution. But what approaches can you implement to effectively resolve matters as they arise? The open door policy is a very effective approach to apply in the workplace, and it's intended to show that management, in particular, supports open dialogue. It also encourages employees to discuss differences that arise in the workplace. This is an initial step toward conflict resolution. Another approach to use is accommodating the other person's point of view and finding a solution that both parties agree upon. Be mindful that you're not asserting your own opinion too much, and that you listen carefully to what the other person has to say. And look, if you realize you're wrong about something after listening to the other person, which totally could be the result, just be willing to admit your mistake and change your mind. This is what they call being the bigger person in a lot of cases. Compromising is another great approach to conflict resolution. The goal with compromise is to find common ground and maintain the relationship. It's best used to achieve an agreement when all parties have equal power or investment in the conflict. It helps in reaching a temporary resolution in more complex matters, as well as allowing everyone involved gains and losses through negotiation and flexibility. Avoidance, another approach to conflict resolution, not a positive one, can be considered a lose-lose situation in which neither party addresses the issues involved or take any action in the conflict. This approach is best used, however, if everyone concerned feels that the issue is a minor one and can be resolved without much fuss. Then again, it has to reflect reality if that's the case. Avoidance is a recommended approach when both parties need time to cool down or walk away from the conflict temporarily. Doesn't mean things are resolved. Another good time for avoidance is when other people are better able to resolve the issue more effectively than the parties concerned. So you find a mediator, right? Collaboration's a final approach we're going to address now. It's a highly effective but challenging way to manage differences when dealing with conflict resolution. This requires trust and commitment on all sides to find a resolution that works for everyone. Everyone involved must be willing to empathize and try to understand the other's situation. Collaboration works best when everyone's willing to investigate alternative solutions together and try to get to the source of problems that have continued for typically quite some time. In addition to methods and approaches to apply, communication tips are helpful and can improve employee relationships. When a conflict arises among your team members, action really should be taken to resolve it. Through addressing the issue, you show employees that there are clear expectations to follow in order to facilitate communication without interruption or disrespect to the parties involved. Communication also involves building active listening skills. I mentioned this before, my favorite topic on communication, active listening. Are you actively listening to what your employees or colleagues are saying? Think back to the last conversation you had with somebody. Did you look them in the eye? Did you really pay attention? Did you provide any feedback? Listening is a valuable skill that can have a direct impact on how conflicts arise and how they can be avoided or resolved. Proper communication skills also include the use of neutral language, body language, and tone. This may look like you saying to someone, "I feel undervalued in my position," as opposed to saying, "You don't value me in my position." Often, what isn't being said propels conflict even further. Use positive body language that signifies your willingness to resolve conflict and reach an agreement. Everyone interprets, experiences, and draws conclusions on things differently. I know that. You know that. We live this experience all the time. Recognizing differences exist allows for direct and open communication to begin working on resolving workplace conflict.